This session is titled Victim Creator. What I'd like you to do for a few moments is think about a time at work or a time at home when there's been a problem and people are either finding fault and blame or trying to make it happen. I'd like you to think about a 10-point scale where 1 is low, people are finding fault and blame, and 10 is high, where people are trying to make it happen. On that 10-point scale, pick a number that best identifies you in your organization. What I'd like you to do for a few minutes is think about that situation. What would have to happen to move that number 3 points? Suppose you selected a 5 and you wanted to move it to an 8. What would have to happen? As you've thought about that for a few moments, what were some of the thoughts that you had? Do you think more about what other people would have to do? What he would have to do to make things different? Maybe what the company would do, or the union, or maybe you name names. When you talk about your problem situation in this way, I would put you on the victim side of the ledger. In the victim side, you begin to talk about other people and what they might do to control the situation because you then become a victim of that situation. As a victim, you give your power to everyone else. What else could you do as you thought about that situation? What about I? If I think about I, what are some things I could do in that situation? What could I do to make things different? What could I do to help that situation? If you think about what you could do, you would be on the creative or creator side of the equation. Being able to create those things that can make a difference. Let me give you an example. There was a woman named Candy Lightner. She developed an organization called MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving. What she did was to gather other people together that had similar kinds of issues and problems with drunk drivers. They then began to think of ways that they might solve this rather than blame the drunk driver or blame the government for their problem. What they did was to begin working with insurance companies that could lobby with the legislatures, and if they found that the person that had been driving was drunk, they would not insure them. This gave a lot of leverage to the insurance companies, and you know the rest of the story from here. The drunk driving laws changed a lot in California and throughout the United States. Where does we fit in? We, I would place in the middle. Sometimes a group of people become victims, blame everything else on the company, everything else in the family, the children blame the parents, where they give up power to other people. We can also be on the creative side, just like Mothers Against Drunk Driving. What she did was gather other people together where they became a very powerful creative force. When a group of I's become a we with a common purpose, they have a lot of power and influence. Let me think for a minute about, or talk for a minute about 9/11. Before 9/11 happened, my wife and I were in San Francisco attending a funeral. We woke up at 9/11 like everyone else, seeing planes flying into the Trade Center. We were unable to catch a flight going back to Knoxville, so we decided to drive. So we got in a car and began to drive across country. It was kind of an eerie experience seeing no planes in the air, but also it became kind of a patriotic experience. We saw a huge semi drive by, and the whole back of his trailer was an American flag. We saw flags that were draped from buildings and factories. We saw flags that were spread across lawns, all showing their patriotism and united in a united way towards the country. As I thought about that situation, did they believe that they were victims? I'm sure they did. There were 4 planes that took off. At the time, the prevailing thought was, if a terrorist takes over, we'll just do what they say, we'll land, and we'll be freed. This time it was different. The fourth plane took off 45 minutes later. Some of those on board were able to contact friends and family. As they did, they found out what was happening. Some of them decided to make a choice to do something different. Did others join in? I don't know. The few that did began to take over the plane. Did they accomplish what they had planned? Not completely, but they saved a lot of lives. The difference was awareness. As they became more aware, they were able to make more choices. If we're unaware, then we become more reactive. So choice is an important part of awareness. Let me give you one more example. We were working in a plant in Davenport, Iowa, and we heard some rumors about two men in the maintenance department that wanted to make a difference. They had heard complaints about their department in the plant, so they decided that they would try to make people happy throughout that day while they were working. And a simple way they did it was they decided to put on the back of their hard hats a little label, and it said, "Have a very nice day." And as they walked around, finished their project, talked to people, they said, "Have a very nice day," as they left. Well, about a month later, we were back doing some work at that location. And there were the two men in our class. We talked to them about that, and sure enough, in the back of their hard hats, they had a little sign that said, "Have a very nice day." People throughout that organization had seen a change in the organization. Here were two people that decided to make a change rather than blame someone else for their difficulties. So until next time, have a very nice day.